Hello everyone, how are we keeping? So we are we're back at it again. The week's going very fast whenever you've somehow managed to commit yourself to doing a video every Sunday. I don't know how this happened or why this happened, but everybody keeps asking me when the next one's coming, so I'm trying my best. I can't guarantee it's going to be every week, but we'll take it whenever we're getting it anyway. So yes, another week over. This week has been I suppose just a steady wee week. It hasn't been massively busy, but there's still an awful lot of work done. So if you were watching the last video, I'd said about the weather warning that was coming in and we were supposed to get a lot of rain and stuff. Well, the good news was it didn't actually come. The weatherman was actually wrong for a change. It has been a damp-ish week, you know, but it hasn't been definitely nowhere near to what we were expecting. We didn't wake up on Sunday morning underwater, which was quite a nice surprise for a change. So this week has been a really big week for Slurry. Slurry fertilizer and just doing bits and pieces just about the yard and stuff. So we're sitting there at the minute. We have about 120 cows or so dried off, and then we had McRoberts. They were there this week actually as well doing cows feet, so we managed to get a lot done with the cows this week, which was good. So get a nice wee start made on the prep for that, just for coming into calving now next month. The year is just disappearing. It's crazy to think that, you know, the work that we're doing now is kind of, it could be the last time on some of these fields for another year. So you'll hear a lot of activity going on in the background. I have just caught up with some of the boys today. Philip is just down here. He's putting in a bit of whole crop for Fulton's. So we're not too far from home here. We're just down the road. And it's actually been mowed because it's quite grassy, so and there's a massive crop on it. It's crazy. So the big M is out here as well, and the lady's lifting it, and then the trailers are flat out. So this week's video is going to be about the trailers. I kind of forgot to kind of keep going on that machinery tour, so we'll do that, and we'll maybe touch on the tankers as well just before we do these Slurry videos. Just me and my little accomplice here today, so if you think I'm reaching over or why I'm in the car, this is why. It's feeding time at the zoo. Yeah, so trailers wise, we are at the minute we are running 11 trailers. So there's 4 Red Rocks, 2 half pipes, 2 Heron H2s, 2 K2s and 1 classic. That is what the fleet is made up of this year anyway. So you'll probably be very well aware already that we are big Red Rock fans. You'll see as well whenever we chat about the tankers that we have quite a bit of Red Rock kit about us. We are currently running the oldest Red Rock that we have in the yard. I think she's here 12 or 13 years. She's also probably one of the biggest trailers in the yard as well. And then newer shapes, then we've got a 20-foot trailer, and then there's an 18-foot there as well. They're both pretty fresh, just came in the past couple of years. And then just there last year, then we bought the new shape Red Rock trailer, and she's tidy. She definitely looks really well. I mean, build wise and stuff, we find Red Rock brilliant. They're excellent to deal with. You know, nothing's a bother, and we're really happy with them. So dealer wise, we are buying all all our Red Rock stuff comes through D&M Farm Services, which is the same place where we buy our tractors through. So yeah, it's handy, you know, and at the same time too, you know, you've got the backup and you've got you know, you've got that bit of dealer support as well, you know, if anything ever does go wrong or anything ever does crop up. I said before in one of the other videos, but that we do deal an awful lot directly with Red Rock themselves, and we do. Red Rock love a wee challenge back and forward, and they certainly get them from us, so you'll see that whenever we show you the tankers. And they've done a couple of other bits and pieces. Our butt brakes are all Red Rock, and our shear grab there over at the AD plant as well is a Red Rock as well. So yes, we are big Red Rock fans. So after the 4 Red Rocks, we have our half pipes. So we've currently got 2 half pipes, and yeah, you can't beat a half pipe. Those trailers have been here for quite a while actually, and they're still probably as good as the day now that they came. They hold some pile of stuff, and they're just really good trailers for where we are and what we need them to do. So on top of the half pipes then, there's also a Killen Classic trailer, and Dad usually would pull it whenever he's carting. Listen, there's always places in the world for small trailers. We get asked quite a lot, why don't we have triaxles and, you know, big tractors? Why don't we have, you know, big trailers? And to be honest with you, you know, there's places yes, absolutely we could work with them the very best, but at the same time there's other places where you know, there's still 10-foot gateways here in Northern Ireland, you know, and it's not always feasible, and you have to buy something that is going to do your whole entire job, not just one. So never say never, but at the minute we're happy enough just with the dual axle trailers, and or never say never. I'd be very surprised in the next couple of years if there isn't a bigger trailer comes. Just move the car here before I get shouted at for being in the way. Which, to be fair, I think I am most of the time. So the herons, we've got 2 herons there as well. They first made an appearance probably 5 or 6 years ago. We buy them through Alan Connell, and just wanted to try something, just something a wee bit different. You know, the boys are always really keen just to keep looking and you know, seeing what else is out there, and that's why after they were chatting to Ellen, obviously Gort Hill run herons. You know, there's a lot of contractors out there who are running solely fleets of herons, so they decided they would buy 2 to try them. So it's the 2 H2s there that we have, and yeah, great job, great trailers. There's fellas who that's the first trailer they would go for in the yard, although they do all have their own tractors and trailers. But yeah, they definitely, some of them would say that Heron would be their preference. So after the H2s, we have the 2 K2s. So they are just in their first season with us, so they're class. Richard Irwin got the boys talked into going K2. We had 2 classic trailers that were due to be changed actually last year, and he had sort of said, well, look, you know, have you tried K2? And we'd had the one that obviously Grassmen had with the walk-on floor, and they really liked it. They really liked the build quality of it and everything else. Walk-on floor maybe just wasn't for us, but you know, whenever it came to it, the deal was done basically. And yeah, they're really nice trailers. The fellas pulling them again just love them. They are as happy as Slurry. It's definitely given us food for thought for the future. You know, certainly for the trailers of that size. So the 2 K2s that we have are there in place of 2 classics that we traded in. So as I said before, there's always places that you need small trailers for, and certain drivers that you always need small trailers for. But yeah, they're versatile, and you know what, they'll go anywhere. So we just came back to the yard there, so that is the trailers. It's gonna be a very slow process. But yeah, they're just moving into their last field there, so then that'll be them read up for the day. So nice wee handy early finish on a Saturday. It's hard to beat. So Slurry for us is probably one of the biggest parts of our business. Yes, silage and everything else is big, but Slurry is something that the tankers move 12 months of the year. So all in all, I mean, if we use last year for an example, we spread just over 35 million gallon as a whole on the year. Every year that gets a wee bit more. And if you're not from Northern Ireland, we use the term calendar farming quite a bit because we are subject to EU guidelines about slurry spreading. So you're not allowed to spread a drop of slurry on a field before the 1st of February, and then you have to have all out by the 15th of October. So it's quite yeah, it's not ideal, because most of the time you know, we get a good we do get a good December or a good start to January, whenever you could kind of be at slurry and get ahead of yourself. But unfortunately it's not allowed. It's a race to beat the ban whenever that comes in October, and yeah, a lot of stress and a lot of heartache, and but it is what it is, and there's nothing really we can do about it. We just have to keep on going. So all of our tankers are all Red Rock as well. We have 7 tankers. So the big one, which is on the triaxle, and then we have 2 4,500 gallons, and then the rest are all 3,000. They all have over the head booms as well. We use those in place of the arms. They all have double fill points as well at the back, and yeah, the 3,000 gallon tanker is a nice size of a tanker for doing the bulk of what we do. There's a lot of ferrying, there's a lot of moving from tank to tank. Most of our slurry is put out by dribble bars, so it works well just for taking it to the nurse tank and one thing and the other. So the two big tankers, the two 4,500 gallons, they came in 2018, 2019. We saw a real spike in just work coming from AD plants and stuff, but now you've got a lot of digestate and stuff to move. The bigger the tanker, the better it is. But yeah, the two 4,500s came, so great tankers. They have done an awful lot of work. So all our tankers, you'll see, they're all on big tyres, and well, there's about cleaning the rest right enough, but they've been working hard this week, so we will let them away with it. But yeah, Red Rock everything where our tankers are concerned, so cannot fault them at all. We actually moved to Red Rock. Before that we were running a fleet of Abbeys, and they're just natural course of their life. They were just due an upgrade, and yeah, Red Rock came up trumps, and that's where we are now. So just this year, if I can get in here, we actually opted to put on the dribble bars onto the back of tankers, well, because we had to, but yeah, so we have dribble bars for almost of them all. They're not all fitted there at the minute because they're all doing ferrying work, but the dribble bars there that we have on them are Slurry equip. So that was all done just at the beginning of the season. We also have a couple of other bits of Slurry equip kit, but we will show you that in the Slurry video. So yeah, 35 million gallon or so of slurry does take quite a bit of shifting, and yeah, it's something that is running all year round. So so it's important that our kit, you know, does what it needs to do and travels well. So all our 3,000s and 4,000s are all on 800 tyres. So you can't really see it too well behind me, but this is the big tanker. So she came to us just in the midst of COVID, and she can shift some stuff. She really can. She's Red Rock again. Whenever we came to them with sort of everything that we wanted, they went away and done a bit of head scratching, and to be fair to them, they came up trumps. They really did do a good job whenever they were designing this one now for us. So she is on the triaxle there, so she's on the 710 tyres. As I say, all our tankers have dual fill points anyway. So I think, by the way things are starting to look, next week might be a bit of a good week now for third cup coming up. So I don't know what the weather's given or what the crack is or what the forecast is, but excuse this here, munching away at Smarties, anything at all just to keep them quiet. But no, I think next week there is going to be a bit of a push on now to get a bit of third cut in. I know Dairy Duff Farms chatting about going, so that's usually a good couple of days for us. So that's probably why Christopher's getting the big aim all fueled up and ready to rob. So that is kind of the story this week. It's just been, if you've watched any other videos, I said before that we kind of experienced like sort of peaks and lows whenever you're contracting, and definitely the good weather last week allowed us to get an awful lot read up, and it just meant then that, you know, this week was a bit of a nicer week and a bit of an easier week, so it just made things so much easier, because we're on top of the Slurry again, we're on top of everything else that we need to be on. So it's just a case now of just waiting on the third cut to come in, and yeah, I think there's still a good bit of whole crop as well left, so there's always something to keep us all entertained. But milking times there at the minute are back down to, you know, the cows are in, milked, out, and you're washed up and home within 2 hours at the minute. So it's a bit strange. We're not used to seeing men in the house before 7 o'clock at night. It doesn't happen very often, right enough. We managed to get about 120 cows or so dried off this week, so that's why everything is, this is a wee pleasurable couple of weeks before there is calves literally everywhere. Yeah, so that is the story this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Sorry for waiting on the delay on getting the trailers and tankers over to you. I know that it's something that we are asked quite a lot, just about all the machinery and stuff, and if you do have any questions or any queries, drop us a wee message or leave us a wee comment, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. I don't know what's coming up, but you'll be as surprised as I am. But yeah, look, listen, take care, and we will see you back later on.